Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. For one thing and another this weekend, work and some family commitments, I'll be struggling to record the weekly watches when I normally do. So you've got me early, super early instead. It's Friday evening, my dinner's in the oven, it's smelling good and I'm getting hungry. So I thought I'd do it a bit early for you guys. But despite being early by a couple of days, I've still managed to fit in 7 watches. That's dedication for you guys. The things I go through, being a couch potato for you guys and getting 7 films in this early, deserve a medal, don't I? I deserve something. So let's crack right on with it. First watch of the week. A Rollerball from 1975, I believe. Directed by Norman Jewison. Now, I'm sure I've seen this as a kid, but to be honest, it was like a first time watch. Starring James Caan, who is excellent in this. This is all about this game, Rollerball, which is hyper violent. Blokes on motorbikes going around an oval, blokes on roller skates. And the idea is they release this metal ball, and you've got to get the metal ball in a hole and do as much damage to the other players as you can. Any violence is allowed, and it's such a great concept. The game itself is brilliant, but it's like supposed to be. It's filmed in 1975, and it's supposed to be set in 2018, and their vision of 2018 was just like 1975, really, with with the old big old heavy tellies and all stuff like that, and tapes and spools and everything. And it's like the world is all corporation based, and you've got to do as the corporation says. And the corporation says that James Caan is sort of the superstar of the sport, but they don't like that because they like uniformity and nobody above the corporations. They sort of order James Caan to retire from the sport, and he's not having any of it. And if they'd have just concentrated on the sport itself, because the sport itself is awesome, I think it would have been a much better film. But it gets bogged down for me in the politics of it all, and that kind of lost me. Like I say, the sport itself is awesome to watch, and really enjoyed that. The violence and the bashing each other up, fantastic. And they should have done the story more around that than this corporation to say. But it's all right. Definitely one to keep in the collection, and definitely one I can see myself watching again in the future. But it could have been better. That's Rollerball. Next up, directed by Bill Forsyth, I think was 1982. Yes, 1982. Local Hero. And again, another film I saw as a kid and not seen it for years. And this is a fantastic film. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is all about Burt Lancaster. He's head of an oil company, and they've found a perfect spot in Scotland to build this oil refinery. And they send over this guy here, who's played by Peter Reigart, who probably my ignorance, but I can't remember seeing him in anything else. But he was very good in this. They send him over to this Scottish coast to broker a deal with the locals to buy the whole area, so that they can build an oil refinery there, because it happens to be with the current and the geology, the perfect spot. It's like lightning strike a place where they can build it, and there's no other place they can build it. And this guy goes over there with a view of doing hard-nosed business deal, but falls in love with the place. And it's easy to see why, because such stunning cinematography, and it seems like the perfect place. And just a wonderful, wonderful feel-good film that I thoroughly enjoyed. It's got Peter Capaldi in it as well, who was fantastic as this guy's sort of cohort. It's got Mr. McCoy from Porridge, who plays this eccentric guy who lives on the beach and owns the beach and is holding up the deal. And I knew, looking at his face, I thought, who's that guy? You have to go and check. And yeah, Mr. McCoy, off the top of my head, I can't remember his name. No, it's not on the back here, it's gone. But yeah, really good, heartfelt, feel-good film of the time. And the score from Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, absolutely incredible. His guitar work, as soon as you hear it, you can recognise it as him because he's got such a unique style. Yeah, definitely a good film and one of the highlights of the week. Excellent, excellent stuff. Next up from myself was a film from last year. Michael Caine, Glenda Jackson in The Great Escaper. And this is the true story of a guy who escapes from his care home to go and visit the beaches of Normandy, where on D-Day the Allied troops landed and invaded France. And again, just a great film. This is so tear-jerking in time. There was times I was welling up in this. I don't mind admit, like 2 or 3 times it got to me. And Glenda Jackson, she died just a few days before the film was released, which makes it even sadder. I don't know how many or how liberal they were with the actual story itself. I know they have to jazz things up to make a film because real life is unfortunately not like the movies. But yeah, really great film. Another one I really enjoyed and a worthy addition to the library now. Michael Caine, this is his last film. He's still got it and he'll be sadly missed as an actor. And God forbid when the day comes, because he's just been a national treasure, hasn't he, Michael Caine? Yeah, great film, great poignant stuff. And if you can watch it, keep a dry eye. There's something wrong with you. Great, great film. Next up was a rewatch of World War Z. Another film, I saw it when it first came out and not seen it since, but you know what an absolute blast of a film. I think I enjoyed it far more than I ever did first time. I think I thought it was alright first time, but just great action film about a zombie apocalypse. Some of the set pieces in it are absolutely amazing. When they get to Israel, and Israel have built this huge wall around the city to protect themselves, but then the zombies just start piling up and get themselves over the wall. And there's a big debate what's scarier, slow zombies or fast zombies, but for me it's fast zombies. They could easily outrun me. I think, you watch the Walking Dead and I could get away from them, but I don't think I'd last long with these guys. And Brad Pitt, super cool in it. He saves the day. Set pieces again on the aeroplane, on the jetliner, when the action breaks out and the jetliner crash lands. Great film, and I enjoyed it really more than I thought I would. Yeah, awesome stuff. Next up, I went to a charity shop about a week ago and saw this in it. And Fritz Lang, he was in my top 10 directors list that I did a few months ago. A film I haven't seen, While the City Sleeps, starring Dana Andrews. Is it Dana Andrews or Dana Andrews? I never quite know. An actor that I like. Vincent Price, you can't go wrong with Vincent Price. This is all about, there's a serial killer on the loose called the Lipstick Killer, because he kills young girls and writes a message in lipstick on the mirror. And Vincent Price has recently inherited this media corporation stroke newspaper from his father, and he's said to these three guys that work for him, that the first one who gets the scoop on who the lipstick killer is in for a promotion at the newspaper. And it's as much as about the internal wranglings of the newspaper as it is about the hunt for the serial killer. And it's really, really fascinating film. Ida Lupino as well, she's in it, which is an actress I really like, and haven't seen much of her in, but everything I've seen her seems fantastic. And these guys who work for the newspaper, they're all conniving, although on the outside they make out they're nice guys to each other, but they're backstabbing all the time, to the extent of using their wives and girlfriends in any power struggle. Brilliant, brilliant film noir. Excellent choice for Noirvember, which it is now. I'll try and watch a noir a week in Noirvember. Better than Stoptober, for God's sake. Yeah, great, and just reaffirms to me that Fitz Lang, master director that he was. I think I've seen about 12 of his films now, and everyone's been incredible. His filmography, I think about 40 films, so I've got a long way to go. A lot of the films are very hard to track down. This one, I'm very lucky to have stumbled across it, because very rare DVD. I think CX sell it for 12, which is a lot for a DVD. Goes for upwards of 20 and 25 on eBay. And I must admit, when I first picked it up, I thought, I'll give it a watch, then I'll move it on. But it's such a great film that it's now one that I'm going to keep in my collection. While the City Sleeps. If you like your noir, recommend that all day long. Brilliant stuff. Next up, now I've done my top 10 horror films, and what great reaction I had to that. It's easily my most successful video on the channel so far, with upwards now of over 6,500 views and a lot of new subscribers to that channel, which I'm really grateful for. Really means the world. And I comment after comment saying, Night of the Demon, watch Night of the Demon. Why is that not in your top 10? And to be honest, I hadn't even heard of it. I don't know why. It's one that always passed me by. And even a couple of people that I know, I'm not going to say in real life, but away from YouTube, my dad's neighbour Paul, he said watch Night of the Demon. My friend of many years, Amin, he said watch Night of the Demon. And I met up with Amin a couple of days ago and had a cup of coffee, and he produced this for me. He says, I got no excuse to watch it now. So I didn't. So I gave it a spin, and these guys were right. What a wonderful film this is. Coincidentally, again, starring Dana Andrews, which really enjoy his work. I must watch more of it. Peggy Cummins, who was from a film called Gun Crazy that I like. Niall McGuinness, who played this guy who was the head of this Satanist cult. This is all about Dana Andrews. He's investigating that Peggy Cummins' father, he's died suddenly in what was made to look like an accident. But as time goes on, this cult have unleashed this demon on him, and then the demon has been then unleashed onto Dana Andrews, who is a scientist and skeptical and won't face it, and is told by the cult that he's only got 3 days till he dies, and it's about everything unraveling the plot until he does believe it, and then he has got something to do. He's got to do something about it before it's his turn. Incredibly atmospheric, incredibly spooky. Remind me of a Hammer film, but it isn't. And as it goes on, it gets under your skin. Yeah, really enjoyed this. Excuse me. So thanks everybody who recommended this to me, and special thanks to my friend Amin for supplying me with a copy. Oi. you are the man. Thanks very much, and it would be definitely one that I'll be looking now to upgrade to Blu-ray at some point. Wonderful, wonderful film. And last for the week, I've been back into me Big Jace. Been enjoying me Big Jace recently, and finished off the transport. Well, no, actually, that's not true, is it? There's another film, isn't there? But without Big Jace, is it Transporter Refueled? Uh, yeah, Transporter 3, and it has its fun moments, but unfortunately, it is a big downgrade from the first two. It's directed by Olivia Megaton. Sounds like a bloody transformer. Uh, and he also directed the Taken 2 and Taken 3, which are, again, were a big downgrade from the first Taken. And I think it's his directorial style more than anything that takes the shine off it. His action scenes, his fight scenes are like so choppy. It seems to be like a take every 5 seconds, which makes the action and the fights even like incomprehensible to follow along, because maybe it's just me getting old, but my brain's not working quick enough for the choppiness of it all, and it's just not as fun as the other two. It has its moments. Um, it's very daft in time. Like Statham's Audi's indestructible. At one time, he puts it at the bottom of a lake, and he manages to float it out and start it up and get back in it, and the inside of it's like it's just been validated. The story's not the best either. It's about he's wired up to a bomb along with this daughter of a Ukrainian diplomat, and he's got to save her, and before this diplomat signs some treaty or something or other. It lost me a bit in that respect. It's all right. Definitely one I'll keep in the collection. Not one I can see myself rewatching a hell of a lot. It's just bog standard, bang average compared to the other two. But Big Jace, I just love the expression on his face where he's beating everybody up. Very stone face. Just love myself a bit Big Jace. So that was it for the week, guys. Again, apologise that it's on the wrong day. Next couple of weeks at least, I'll be back on the Sunday morning, I should think. Give us a like if you've liked what I've done here today. All helps out, so they reckon. Subscribe if you want to hear more of this twaddle. And I'll catch you all soon. Ta-ra.